but even just some observational statistics can be a powerful thing. And so maybe to give us a little bit of hope, this chart represents some of the early findings we had that were really foundational. And it's based on thousands of observations of different startups over decades. And what we found is, obviously, if there's an innovation and you're already an incumbent, so let's say Coca-Cola comes out with some new bubbly water that tastes good, I don't know. If an incumbent comes out with a better performance product, about 2/3 of them survive 10 years as a product line, and they tend to grow in a way that's highly correlated with their market segment. So that, we all knew that. But here's where I think it gets interesting. If Coca-Cola or you or I or anyone is a new entrant in a market, and we have a better performing product, so we find out what customers want, we deliver it better, we start a business, you can see the survivorship crashes down to 13%, which is really bad. In fact, if you just look at, in the US anyway, government data on new businesses, roughly 35% of them survive 10 years. So this is less than half of the survivorship of just new businesses, so to speak. And statistically, it's anomalous. We shouldn't have this much failure in a category. So something's going on here. There's a causality. Why are better products systematically underperforming? And I think it's an interesting, because the first slide I showed you showed that better performance was one of the things we've all learned to do. And now I'm saying statistics are telling us, nope, don't ever do that. And we want to know why, and what can we do instead? Well, the why, the causality, we believe, is it's a competitive response. So if you really are a startup, you're new in a market, and you actually are better, you've actually put your competitors who were there before you into a box. In game theory, you've narrowed their options, because if they don't do anything, you're better. You'll start to take their customers away. So they have to eventually respond. And they have very limited vocabulary that they can respond with. Essentially, they have to acquire you or kill you. Because if they don't, you'll take their customers. So what we find is, the short version is, it's just a lot easier for incumbents to defend a castle than for you to invade it. That's it. But over 85% of the businesses we see are this: better performance, new entrants. It is the overwhelming dominant strategy. And it's what we all learned. It's what I learned. And why? Because we generally study case studies of innovation using big companies as the model. IBM comes out with a better whatever, or 3M comes up with a better whatever. So we're studying incumbents who succeeded with a better performing product. And we haven't figured out that when you're a new entrant, when you're not a castle, it's a completely different set of math. So all the behaviors we learn in one context don't work in another circumstance, and nobody's told us that we've changed. So what do you do? And I think you can see there's some other strategies with much higher survivorship odds. A low end is your Clayton Christensen disruptive innovation. You know, you come up from the bottom, start cheaper and worse, and just kind of work your way up, like a Walmart or a Southwest Airlines or a McDonald's. You know, you just kind of come up from the bottom. And that certainly happens. Another one is the market creating strategy, which takes a lot of nuance to describe, but the short version, it's like a blue ocean. You go into a market where there's truly no competitors. It's just you. You're solving a problem the customer has, and it's just you. So there's no one to respond. There's no incumbent. There's no competitor. And again, we can be very specific about that. But in that case, if you're coming down, if you go head to head with the incumbents, your odds are low. If you start in the bottom of the market that they just don't care about, with customers they don't really want to fight for, your odds go up. Or if you start off in some market they just truly don't care about, never takes a customer from them, your odds go up a lot. And what we see is not only do your survivorship odds go up as a startup, by the way, or a brand new business, but the compound annual growth rate averages a little over 70% across industries over them, so it's quite high. So just knowing a few basic details about a company's go-to-market strategy has a huge impact potentially on their odds. And as a venture capitalist, I just can't ever say yes. So if all you ever do for the rest of your life, we've got a lot of ROI in our time together. If anytime someone's showing you they've got a new business and it's better than everybody else and they can prove it, just say no.